All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Or this is the brother Tawab Shah from GMS Los Angeles / Inland Empire. Come back with another video on the spirit. And once again, Thwadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for opening my eyes to this truth, allowing me to wake up another day and putting the spirit on me to do another lesson in hopes that I'll find the hopeful elect. Okay, so in this video, what I want to go into is just going to be real quick, just an exhortation for brothers, all of us, to be mindful and, how we speak out here, Of course, we go out there, we preach about this society being destroyed. Okay, we preach about all the bad times, the evil times that's ahead, and how things are going to get wild out here, right? At the same time, we got to be also mindful, in our preaching, and how we say certain words. We don't want to come off as being carnal, okay? And I'm not saying this because I see brothers doing it. It's just something I'm just putting out there, just to be mindful of. When we out there, sometimes the spirit, get on brothers to be passionate, to make, to preach the word, right? And, and in that passion, sometimes things could be interpreted a certain way. And I'm not saying this to, saying we be afraid to speak the truth. No, we're going to continue to speak the truth. We're going to continue to preach. This place is going to be destroyed. Esau, so-called white man, all these other nations are going to be our slaves in the kingdom of heaven. But I'm just putting this out there because you got a lot of provocateurs out here, guys that call themselves Israelites. They'll make statements that are, questionable statements, red flag things, to bring that negative light upon the ministry, which we understand that you're going to have false prophets. Okay, you're going to have individuals out here that are going to be agents, spies, and what have you. But I'm just saying this for us, to be mindful. So, with all that being said, I'm just bring out a few scriptures, and Lord willing, this is edifying. So the first scripture I'm going to start with is Colossians chapter 4, verse 5. It says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Okay, so we in this world, okay, knowing what we preach, we basically speaking against this man's Esau, so-called white man. He's speaking against his rulership. Okay, so we're a target already. Just simply just speaking this truth. Okay, so being it, knowing that, it's not wise to be out here, being reckless. Okay, being in a confrontational spirit. Okay, looking for trouble, so to speak. Okay, it's best to keep a low profile. Be cordial. Go to work. Do your job. And like the scriptures say, man. If it be possible, be peaceful with all men. Because sometimes personalities, everybody's not always gonna get along. Everybody's not gonna always mesh well together. But within our, us being in the truth, within our control, if we, if you find yourself dealing with an individual that, that may be rubbing you the wrong way or trying to get you to lose your cool, it's best to distance yourself from that individual if it's possible, because the times that we're coming into, things, it's getting down to the wire, and every move we make is going to be crucial. We don't want to, give the devil place, man. Okay, so let me read again. This back in Colossians chapter 4, verse 5. It says, "Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man." And see, this is why I'm going into this, because sometimes you got, like I said, you got agents out here that'll come at you a certain way to get you to lose your cool, to get you to say things that they can use, or things that that these motherfuckers can use against you, against us. Okay, and sometimes these individuals, they come to the camps to try to mess with brothers, try to get brothers to get carnal, or get brothers to say something that they can use against the ministry. Okay, which at the end of the day, like I said, us simply just speaking the truth makes us a target. Okay, we telling this man he's coming out of power. His kingdom's gonna be destroyed. We telling him all these things. That's enough for him to to label us extremists or label us terrorists. But we don't want to, like the scriptures say, suffer as an evildoer. We don't want to be out here, stirring up strife, stirring up carnal shit, because we using certain words or certain language that they can use as inflammatory or threats. Okay, because they already say we use it inflammatory, because we speak on homosexuality, we speak on these moles, these PDF files. It's getting to, it's got to the point where we have to use certain coded language, for our videos not to get strike and our channels taken down, because this man has totally demonize what we speak about, okay, or what we teach. Okay, so I'm just throwing that out there, through the spirit, because you see what's going on with in this world. You see what's going on with, as far as what's going on over there in the Middle East, Iran, Israel, going back and forth. Okay, we see what's going on here in the States concerning the immigration. Okay, how these Trump got these Edomites out here turned up. So it's best to walk in wisdom, because these devils, Trump is stirring they spirit up, man. Okay, so like I said, we want to keep a low profile, man, and walk wisely out here. All right, I got another one. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. It says, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger." You see that? So sometimes in certain situations, you will have to use a soft answer to turn away wrath. And see, a lot of Jake do not apply this, man. A lot of Jakes in the world, they don't, even guys that call themselves Israelites, they don't apply this right here. They don't come with a soft answer. They come with grievous words. And then, like the scripture just said, those grievous words stir up anger. If you get pulled over by a police officer, okay, especially if he's an Edomite and he hates Jake, all right, and you can see it in his countenance that he doesn't like Jake, he pulls you over for whatever reason, stops you for whatever reason. Okay, the wise thing to do is to give him a soft answer, because if you say grievous things, if you say, "Man, fuck you, you an Edomite, you going to slavery, you a devil," and all this and that, that's gonna stir up anger. He's gonna bring wrath upon you. Okay, so I'm just using that as an example. Okay, There's many other situations. You know, you got carnal niggas out here. You know, niggas just out here looking for trouble. They might say certain things, try to, you know, say threats to you or whatnot. How they gonna shoot you or whatever the case may be, stab you, whatever. You know, as long as they not, you know, getting physical, if they just talking shit, as the scriptures just say, same thing. Soft answer, tender away wrath. All right, man, you got it. You know, I don't want no problems, you know. So these are the things that we gotta keep in mind. Okay, now somebody getting your personal space, they trying to get physical. You know, brothers got the right to defend themselves. We ain't gonna sit there and be no punching bag. But if, like I said, if the guy's just talking shit, just you know, like the soft answer and just turn away. You know, walk away. All right. It says the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Right, and you see, the mouth of a fool, he's not going to regard the time. He's not going to regard the season. A fool don't know when it's time to shut up. A fool don't know when it's time to walk away from things. Okay, a fool don't know how to pick his battles. Okay, and see, us being in the truth, the Lord has opened our mind on a whole nother level in navigating in this world. Okay, so when brothers are in certain situations, okay, that's why, you know, reading these scriptures, you know, it gives us the instructions, the guidance, you know, in how to move and how to act accordingly in these different times, these different seasons. Okay, so that way we don't put ourselves in danger. Okay, unnecessary danger, because we speaking out of turn and we saying things to stir up strife and anger. Okay, opposed to, you know, de-escalating things. We don't want to instigate things. We want to de-escalate things. You know, carnal, to get carnal, that should be always be the last resort. You know, if it's necessary, somebody, you know, trying to do physical harm to you. All right, so I'm gonna bring out one more scripture. I'm gonna wrap it up. This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. It says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." You see that? And words have power, man. You know, that's why you see a lot of these rappers, you know, a lot of these rappers are getting shot and killed, getting gunned down, because a lot of shit they speak about in their music is death. Okay? You keep talking about death, you keep putting that energy out there, you know, wherever how you speak and all that, how you live, how you carry yourself, that energy is going to come back upon you, you know? And that's what's happening to these rappers. Okay? They out there pushing that low vibrational energy, and then they get met with it. You know? So just the same thing too, you know, with the truth. You know, going out there, like you see these other guys call themselves Israelites out there with, you know, with guns on them, you know. They got all this body armor, all this shit, all this carnal shit. What vibration is that pushing? That's not pushing spiritual vibration. That's not pushing the spirit of the Lord. That's pushing carnality, man. And the scriptures tell us that the Most High is against that carnal mind. Okay, so that goes to show you that those individuals that's doing that the spirit of the Lord is not with them. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, I was just throwing this out there, you know, something for us to all be mindful of, man. You know, be mindful in how we speak and be mindful on how we moving out here, because we in some crucial times right now. Like I said, it's getting down to the wire, man. You know, even though, you know, it's very exciting times, but it's also very fearful time, man. It's very imperative to fear the Lord and don't overstep that boundary, man. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up and give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Hakodash, the honors to the apostles, and that was a great millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in true sincerity. Shalom.